Welcome again to URP Practical Talk. I must admit, it's an honor that when we come on, you listen to us. It's an honor that when you see us, you tell us what we are saying and you compliment us. And we don't take it lightly because we're on for half an hour, and that's half an hour of your precious time. And we really appreciate, I must tell you, and on behalf of the URP, we really do appreciate the time that you spend with us. And those of you who share our program, some of you go back on the internet and you relook at the program and you send it to your friends and family. We appreciate that very much. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you very much. I'm your host, Pastor Wendell Jeffrey. This is the URP Practical Talk. Today we're going to be touching on a number of subjects. Last week we didn't quite get through a number of things. There's so many things to talk about. I know at home you discuss some of these things with your family. And when we share them, I know you agree with us. And you would like to support us. And so we're going to get into it again. Today with me is the leader of the party, a friend of mine, a mentor, a dad, Dr. Vishnu Bandhu. Welcome, Doc.
Thank you.
I love you. You know I love you.
Love you too.
Thank you so much, Doc. Doc, let's jump into the program. It has been some time that the opposition leader has sent a list, the third list, to the current administration. And I know that you don't support either of the two parties, but you seem concerned about the delay in the selection of a name. What is troubling you?
It is very important for us to understand this concern all of us, all Guyanese it concerned, right? I think the Granger administration playing a game. President Granger is playing a serious game. I don't know who are advising him in his administration on this or what. But you're telling me that the opposition party, you had asked for names. They have given you one set of names. Then again, you disqualify everybody on that list. They give you a next set. I think this is the third set now, right?
Correct.
They're giving you. And you keep on disqualifying it. And you're delaying choosing a chairman. And I'll tell you what. And I want you, the viewers, to listen this carefully. Because when was the 2015 election? I said it clearly all over Guyana, me and my team. Said it clearly that if you vote for the APNU administration, you're voting for PNC. And you had a 28 years experience with them. And if you also vote for them, you are not voting for a true change. You are voting for an exchange. And I'm telling you this again. What is happening here? President Granger is playing a delay tactics for choosing the chairman for GCOM. Why? Because they want to prolong the election to go into 2021 instead of 2020. Remember this word I'm saying. This is their aim, is to delay the election.
And why, how does the election, how does a delay in the election, how do you perceive that a delay in the election will benefit the administration?
Oh yes, it will benefit because
tell the viewers how.
Why. If they are calculating that the oil will come up around that time, it means they will have a lot of money to go through around and buying voters in Guyana to put them back in power.
So
but the people must be able to understand that if we have 5 years for election, in 5 years we should have election in Guyana.
I want to come back to that, but I want to make sure you understand what you're saying. You're saying that if the government delays the election from 2020 to 2021, they get oil at the end of 2020, but they wouldn't have enough money to win the election in 2020. No. So you think that another year, by then, because I think they said it's 4,000 barrels a day that will come up. So you figure that they will have enough money based on the taxes and so on that they are down. They're going to buy the election. So that's your take.
Yeah, they will get millions of dollars in their hand to start spending and giving people money to vote for them.
And you're saying
right?
that the chairman, the selection of the chairman, the GCOM chairman, is tied to the delay tactic.
Definitely, because right now, many people want to be registered in Guyana. They are telling you clearly they are not doing no registration because a chairman has not been elected yet. When the chairman elected, then they will be able to do that. So they're going to write the delay tactics. So they will always say, well, look, we need some more time to register everyone in Guyana. And this is the tactic they're trying. You know, look, I study these guys.
Okay.
I know what I'm saying.
Okay.
And you remember what I'm saying here today, if this is not what will happen here.
Okay, good. All right. So now that you've conjured a reason, what do you think is the fallout? What do you think will happen if no election is announced in 2020? Well, how do you think the nation will take it? Because don't forget, the nation is almost divided half and half, okay, between the supporters of the coalition administration and the supporters of the PPP. What do you think will be the fallout? Do you think that people will be patient enough to understand whatever excuse the Granger administration gives based on your scenario, or do you think it would bring some civil unrest?
It will bring civil unrest to some people, not all people.
Okay.
Right? What will happen here? We are hoping and we are praying, the URP are saying, look, we will support any organization. Any organization we will support and join hands with them to see that the 2020 election take place according to the rules of Guyana. Right? I will support anyone, any organization, any political parties that say that we have to go to the poll in 2020. If you have to work day and night to get it done, you have to get it done.
And you're saying that, and of course, the URP, there's one thing, and you talked about this in another program, that the URP brings no baggage to the table.
No.
Because it is you and your coalition of democracy that brought about the change in 92.
Yes.
And it is also you and your party that brought about the change for us in 2013 and then 2015. You have worked to bring in the PPP and to bring out the PPP. So you're saying that you're objective enough to support that.
Yes.
I'm asking though, you don't think that there will be any problems in the country if you don't have the elections in 2020?
I all depend on the political party, how hard they work, what they're telling their people, and so forth. But we in the URP will demand that we should have an election. Right? If the people have to take the street, they will take the street. And we will have to have an election on 2020 in Guyana.
But Doc, and I know that you know, the international, the ABC countries are all in support of this current administration. Who is going to back the lousy Guyanese when they take to the streets?
The people have to come out, and they have to. If the people come out in massive force, they have to listen. Right?
Give me a case where they listen. Nobody listens. When the guys came out under the PPP shot them with rubber bullets. Felix, James Bond, all of them get shot. I see them. I covered the news, the run back at Freedom at Congress Place, bleeding from the back. The police shoot them with rubber bullets when they come out. So give me a time when these people make the government change. Nobody changes.
Listen, they have to listen if people come out in masses. They have to listen in Guyana. I am telling you this, that the American goes when they see numbers. They don't go on their losing side. Right? If the people rally in this country by the thousands, the Americans have to look at it. They have to look at it. And it might force to make a different decision at that time.
Okay.
Because they always want to be in the winning side.
Yeah, and the side of the people,
Right?
democracy, right?
Yes.
The democracy. What we will have to hope, though, Doc, is that you don't have the kind of response to when the people came out under the PPP administration where they were shot. You have to hope that this administration will be kinder to people who are likely to protest. Because if you have that kind of reaction, then because the people who were shot in the ABC countries, you had all of those countries in Guyana when Felix and James Bond and all of them were shot and nothing happened.
Look.
So I'm saying that I've seen this thing over the little time that I've been back to Guyana, and I'm almost cynical that nothing.
Pastor,
you understand?
Democracy has its price.
Well, beautiful.
Right?
Beautiful.
We have to understand that
Yes.
democracy has its price. We have to get our people to understand that maybe some of our life will last,
Beautiful.
but it has to happen. And this government will do worse than the rubber bullet. I'm telling you that. And you know why? Look the other day when they had the problem with the Red House. Right? The people picketing at the Red House, and this government sent its people to harass those people. I don't know if you can remember that story.
Yeah, I didn't cover that, but I heard that there was some pushing
Yes.
and tugging and stuff like
And
that.
there were people from the government who went and do that. So we understand, we know this government, the bullyism in this government. We know that. The president have a record in that.
Be careful now.
You know.
Be careful when you say that. Be careful when you say that, right? Because the president challenged that.
Yeah.
That he was not involved.
But it's rumor all over.
Yeah, but rumor is
Right?
not facts.
You know.
And what the URP want? We want to
Yeah.
bring facts. But I understand
Yeah.
your passion. I understand your passion, and I'm saying that let's continue to hope that common sense would prevail and that the current administration will do the right thing, and that elections will be held when it's constitutionally due. And that peradventure, your prophetic scenario that they will push the election back, let's hope that does not become a reality. Let's hope that you're a false prophet, right? Doc, you live in Wiedenhoop, and we are building a fancy bridge.
A fancy bridge.
Yeah, we building a fancy bridge, man.
I ain't see no fancy bridge, buddy. I see on the newspaper they have a 3-lane bridge.
But right now we got 2 lanes, so we're building one more lane.
So what the one more lane will do? What will it prevent this traffic jam and all these things? If you have 4-lane bridge, even, and you build a 4-lane bridge, and you have opening for ship to pass, a flat bridge, you are not making any sense. You're making no difference in having an opening, a low bridge running.
Well,
It's just an exchange from the floating bridge to a next bridge, right? We do not, this is a modern time. We do not want to have an exchange of bridge, right? We want to have a flyover bridge where ship can pass underneath. And I agree with Barra Jagdeo and their team when they make comment on these things, right? Because that is madness you're doing, to build a flat bridge. You know what caused the traffic jam? It's the opening of the bridge causing the traffic jam, where thousands of cars flock on the road for that 1.5 hours. If you build even 2-lane overhead bridges, you would not get this traffic jam. Let us say you don't have money to build 3-lane bridge, and you got to put, right now as far as I'm concerned, the government hasn't got the money even to build what they're suggesting to build now.
No, they don't.
Right? So they have to seek money. They have to seek a loan.
They got borrowed
Right?
money, right?
The same way you can seek a loan and for a little additional to make a bridge that makes sense in Guyana. Right? So what I'm saying, this government has to learn to think about the future. You know, you can't think about making saltfish cake and plantain chip and cook up rice. This is not a cake shop you're running. This is a country you're running.
No, let me,
Huh?
I'm gonna play
Huh?
I'm gonna play what they call the devil's advocate, right? I'm gonna look at both sides. I am a layman. I have no engineering skills. I am not, I don't have financial technicalities to calculate and to dissect numbers. But I'm thinking as a layman. If you build a bridge with 3 lanes that has to open, and you are spending somewhere around $200 million to build that bridge, who advises you? I mean, the region 3 is exploding by way of growth and all of that stuff that will come from Perico. Or you understand? You just fixed the road that is going from Veden Hoop all the way to Perico. You got brand new roads. The region is expanding. And you're going to tell me in 2017, you build a bridge, that bridge in Borbees, that is a flyover bridge in Borbees that was built somewhere in the 70s. You tell me in 2017 you're going to build a bridge.
You're talking about the Kanji
The Kanji Bridge. You're going to build a bridge in 2017 that you got to shut down. Ambulance can't come over. You're going to shut down that whole operation for an hour and a half at peak hours sometimes to open a bridge. I'm saying somebody is advising this government and cause them to think as simplistic as they are. And you are making a good point. They are boasting that the oil is going to transform this country exponentially.
Definitely.
That we're going to make so much money in oil that we're going to match Saudi Arabia and Dubai. You're trying to tell me that you can't go to a lending institution and say, look, based on what you all are saying, because we don't know about oil, we're taking our ideas from people who know about oil.
Definitely.
And the people who know about oil say that we find enough oil. You're telling me that you can't go to a lending institution, the World Bank or the IDB, or you can't get local people who got investments, and you can't say to them, look, we need $300 million to build the kind of bridge that we don't have to touch in another. It's 40 years ago, born and build that bridge.
Definitely.
40 years, and you telling me 40 years after you coming back to build the same kind of bridge? And hear what they say. Oh, the difference in the bridge is that people would normally, when they shut this bridge now, nobody can be on the bridge. So they block the traffic at the road. So the bridge is empty in case anything hit it and so on. Here what they say. Oh, the difference is cars will be able to remain on the bridge while it's open. I mean, that is it. And so I'm saying, I'm playing devil's advocate. I'm saying somebody advise this government that it makes sense to do that, and the person must be brighter than me, you. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, Pastor, I don't understand who is so bright to do a research and make a flat bridge for Guyana when we have a flat bridge and having all this problem.
I want to tell you so. Go ahead.
I'll tell you this. As we are saying about the oil, we're talking about oil, money will be so much, right? Guyana will able to afford closing their eyes according to what they're saying, building a 4-lane bridge, a high-over bridge where ship can pass anytime under those bridge and have no problem in paying back the debt.
Correct.
Right? Unless they are thinking about putting the money in their pocket. Right? That it will charge their pocket.
So they don't want to do the investment.
Right?
I want to touch on another thing too. Once we get oil in this country, Linden is going to come alive. There are people who are talking about revitalizing the smelter plant in Linden for the bauxite. They got people who are talking about taking a refinery to Linden. So if now the bridge is open for an hour and a half, and we don't have any oil, we don't have any exponential growth up the Demerara River, imagine what will happen in 5-10 years from now, not even 5-10, but let me give it that time, when you have a thriving up the river or down the river, when businesses begin to thrive, the bridge will have to be open for longer periods.
Definitely.
So if you put, and I'm using their argument, and this is what I'm saying, going back and forth. If you're saying Linden is PNC owned, so when we get oil money, we can develop Linden. Well, you got all them ships that will be going back and forth to Linden.
Definitely.
So now the bridge is gonna have to open for 2-3 hours at a time for those ships to pass. When you build the bridge that they envision, what you're gonna cripple the transportation between the region 3 and region 4.
Definitely. Definitely.
You understand? So I don't understand who is advising them. And again, it looks as though whenever they say something, they gotta go with it. There is no.
Yeah, because they have majority in parliament, so nobody can stop them. They say we have the majority, you know. But it's a shame to the AFC to allow all these things. They have portrayed so much out there they will do, and they cannot stand up against anything. They are a pack of rubber stamp.
But the AFC man is who is
right?
the Minister of Infrastructure. Yeah. The AFC man is who is the Minister of Infrastructure. So he is the one who is.
But the same AFC man said he has always been a PNC man too. He have said that in his campaign speech in Bartica. You know? Yeah. So he said that. So what kind of AFC is this? You know? We are in big trouble. Now the resort, they put $146 million to do research, to do a bridge like this. Yeah? 100, and then they would say they get it from IDB. When the PPP questioned them, they said it come from the government. You know? So what really happening? What you get? Someone, you minister or somebody, get somebody to get something for show you a bridge and put $146 million in your pocket.
I am hoping, though, that common sense would prevail and they would go back to the drawing board with that bridge. I am hoping that they will go back to the drawing board and that they will do a flyover bridge and not that bridge that Bonham built 40 years ago, that they would not go down that route.
Guyana need a 4-lane overhead bridge that ship can pass at all times, because it saved many things. It saved the ship to dock out there, and those ships are very costly when they're spending hours and hours outside there, right? It's saving them, it's saving you too from having pollution in your country more and more, because every time you see that bridge opening and trucks and things like that sitting there, they're running.
The diesel
they're running, the smoke, the pollution all going in the air.
Correct.
Pollution in the country. Correct. So there are so many different things we have to think about.
Correct.
And having
productivity.
Yes, and an open bridge.
Correct.
We have to have an overhead bridge in this country.
You know, I want to show you, I want to agree with you. When I did public speaking, one of the professors said, when you're going to speak at a public event, you have to calculate the amount of people you're speaking to by the time you're going to speak to them, by how much money they make. So that if you make $500 an hour, and I'm speaking to 30 of you guys for an hour, that's 30 times 500, right? I'm talking about productivity. When you open that bridge and you got 1,000 cars on one side and 1,000 cars on the other side, and you have, let me say that there's only one person in each car, that's 2,000 people that you have sitting out there for an hour and a half. And now you have to multiply that by how much those people make an hour. You see how much money you're wasting in productivity? So all of those things need to be calculated in the feasibility studies of these things. And I'm saying that I am just a layman. These people brought in somebody, like you just said, and paid them $146 million to provide a feasibility study, and that is what they come up with? Come on, man. Doc.
But do you know the company who do this feasibility study?
Doc, I know that. Yeah. I mean, everybody knows that they said that the people did not bid for this thing. Doc, man, I know, man. And everybody knows, and I'm saying that we're talking about transparency, we're talking about
But the president talk about transparency all the time. But I don't know if this what he mean about transparency. I don't know. Transparency is like this. You know? So where are we going? Where are we heading? You know? We are in real trouble. You know? And we'll keep on being this way. This is why I'm asking our people, please open your eyes, listen to what we are saying, to make a difference in Guyana for your children and grandchildren's sake. Don't look at us.
You know, Doc, I tell you, I engage people. And my conscience is clear because I'm a pastor. And my conscience is clear when I talk with people. I don't have to talk with water in my mouth. I talk about you, Dr. Bandu, and I call your name proud because you're scandal-free, you don't have any baggage. But you know when you talk to people, what you're beginning to hear? You're beginning to hear, oh, the last administration used to do it, so you got to give these boys a break. That's what you're hearing. When first you used to hear ethics and transparency and open-mindedness and all inclusivity, that's not what you're hearing now. What you're hearing now is PvP used to do it, and they do it for 23 years. You got to give these boys a break. These boys got to get a thing together. And the people who support this administration is getting to where they're not holding this administration accountable, Doc. You hearing these people, it's almost like them used to do it, so these excuse them. That's what you're hearing.
But the point is they when in their campaign they say they will be different. They will do so and they will do so and what have you and make things differently. But then you're coming now and tell me because these guys was doing that, we are doing the same thing, then you shouldn't be there. You should not be there in that seat where you're sitting. You're wasting time. You're suffering the Guyanese people. Look, just now I had a meeting. We are talking about races and we are talking about this professional, what we are talking all the time. I was pointing out to people that I look at, you got two kind of professionals. You know, you got one who we call a racist professional and you got one who is a real professional with open mind. You know, we said not because what is happening in Guyana. If President Granger showing his racism, you should not go that way. You should be more bigger than that. You should open your mind and think because you win people by love. You don't win people by hate. Because they do that thing, you will go do the same thing. Show them that you are better than that. We are not going down that road. You know, we have to show people that we care for them, we love them, and let them keep on seeing that. And they themselves will start to change their mind.
I want to say this here, Doc. What has happened, and these politicians know it. Like I tell you, when this government first came in, or when they were campaigning, people were talking about honesty and transparency. I'm talking the supporters, and I was one of the supporters too. Now, the supporters are not talking about that anymore. The supporters are beginning to say this government needs to be given room to be corrupt because they are not as corrupt, if you understand. So even the supporters of this administration is giving them a break. You understand what I'm trying to say? And the politicians know that they could do anything and they're not going to lose sufficient support to keep them out of power. And that is what happened under the last administration, and that's what's happening under this administration. Doc, we're at the top of the hour.
I totally agree with you. Totally agree with you.
Take 5 seconds and look in the camera and talk to the people.
Please, I'm appealing to each and every one of you. Listen carefully what we are saying. We are on this program to educate you, for you to understand where we are going wrong and where we are going right. And we are urging you, if you think we are wrong, look at the number on the screen and call us and point out to us where we are wrong. We do not know everything. We need your help to come with us and let us put our head and hand together to make Guyana a better Guyana and a loving Guyana and a caring Guyana for people. I thank you. God bless you.
We're completely out of time. Join us on the web. Visit us on the YouTube page. Thank you. Same time, same station next week. God bless you real good. Peace out. Bye-bye.